Hi! We're going to do some eyeshadow with this little quadratic palette from OFIR today. So recently I had posted a tutorial for something else and I was wearing this eyeshadow, and I have gotten so many questions and comments about how I did this, and so we're just going to do it together today. All right, so this is the Future Dusk quadratic palette from OFIR. First of all, it's adorable. I love that when they're like mirrored like this. This is supposedly a limited edition eyeshadow palette that they have, so I don't know how long these will last, but as of right now, they're still available on their website. But these are some of the most beautiful eyeshadow shades ever, and I'm just going to show you like how I did this with this little palette. This is kind of I don't really have any new tricks as far as eyeshadow goes. I pretty much do my eyeshadow the same way every day. I just switch up the colors. So if you like this, you can sort of memorize like how I did it. And then whatever colors of eyeshadow you want to use for the day, you can use them with this method and do it every day. Okay. So I'm just going to take a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to start with this purpley one. Okay. So they are named. This one is called Nebula, the purple right here. And I'm just going to get a little bit of this on my brush. Okay. Their eyeshadows are pretty pigmented, and these ones are kind of darker shades. So you just want to go light in the beginning and try not to overdo it. You can always add more, but when you start having to take stuff off, it gets a little bit hard, right? So we're just going to use this purple right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start like on the outside corner. I'm going to go about halfway in, and then I'm also going to go down, sort of like a little triangle on the outside of my eye, and just starting in the crease. We're just going to add it right there. Okay, again, I pretty much do this every day. You can use this. This is generally where your darkest shade of eyeshadow needs to go, is it right here in this corner. So I'm starting with the purple. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of this darkest shade, just a tiny bit though, okay? Not a whole lot. I'm just going to like barely dip my brush inside, and I'm going to just add that right on top of that purple. So we're just kind of like mixing these two shades together. And if you use a fluffy brush like this, you'll have a little bit more, it won't go on like really dark, and you'll be able to blend it well, okay? Okay, so again, I see some of y'all coming on. So this is the Future Dusk quadratic eyeshadow palette from OFIR. This was some eyeshadow that I was wearing on a video that I posted recently, and I got lots of questions about how I did it. So that's what we're doing today. So this is just a little bit of this purple and this blue kind of mixed together in the outside corner. If you want this darker than that, you can totally do that. This looks like it's matching pretty good, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. So this one is kind of just I don't even know if you can see. This one's kind of more blue. This one's kind of more gray. I'm going to grab this one up here. First of all, I'm going to take my same brush, and I'm going to wipe it just like on a damp washcloth that I have laying here, just to kind of get all that. I don't want navy blue on it. So we're going to grab just this lighter ones. Okay, a little bit of that. And we're going to sweep it just under my eyebrow. Okay, so you can see it's just shiny there. You can pack this on a little more if you want more shimmer. Okay, and then I'm going to take my finger and the other one. So this one is more of a grayish. It does have some blue tones when you put it on, and you'll see. But it's more silver. And I'm just going to fill in the empty spots with that. And then we'll look and make sure that they match. Okay, I'm also going to drag it a little bit into the corner of my eye. I did that same thing over here where you just have a little bit there. And that's how I did that. Super easy. So it's just really 3 steps. It's just like the outside corner little triangle that you make first, and then you're going to want to fill in up here, and then you're going to want to fill in the inner corner of your eyelid. And then the last step that I do is I take a smaller, more concentrated, not as fluffy brush, and I'm going to take the darkest shade that I used, okay, and we're just going to sweep it under here. And again, with these darker shades, I try to just do a little tiny bit at a time so that I don't get it on too dark. If it takes you a few layers or a few times, that's totally okay. If you like it super dark, you can go ahead and pack it on. I just want to go slow, right, for myself. So that's pretty much it. Like, that took me 5 minutes or less. And then I'm just going to top off with some of the OFIR Smudge Proof Mascara on my lower lashes. Hi, Lori. Try not to open my mouth while I'm doing my mascara. All right, there you have it. I am going to also set this makeup because I have not set it yet. This is just a little bit of the OFIR setting powder minus the shade Fair. And then, let me find it. I've also been finishing off with the Everset Setting Mist. I feel like this makes my makeup stay all day. And it also gives you kind of the best of both worlds because I use the powder to like make it matte. But then I use the spray to give you a little bit more of a dewy complexion, okay? All right, so if you want this eyeshadow palette, I don't know where I put it. Here it is. If you want this eyeshadow palette, I put a link in the description of this video that will take you straight to all of the eye products from OFIR, and you can pick it there. I think that you will use these a whole bunch. This is a really gorgeous eyeshadow palette, and I hope that helped for all of you that were asking about how I did the eyeshadow on the other video. All right, I hope you have the best day. I'm out of here. I'll see you later.